Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is July 17th, and please turn to page 48 in your magazines. And if you haven't subscribed, you really should consider subscribing to the magazine. And then you can follow everything we're doing on the air, and you've got all kinds of exercises and supplementary material to go with it.
的确如果你有订阅我们的杂志的话，会有很多的练习还有一些这个附属的补充的材料你可以接触到，可以多学点东西。
I mention that because you get so much for free from Ivy. Now, some of you should show a little appreciation, and it also will benefit you because it's much easier to follow when you've got it all written out in front of you and you can take a pen and take notes.
对，其实这个你现在很多人会觉得这个网络上早就有了，但是你还是有印出来，然后再能够在上面做笔记，我觉得还是不一样，那对学习的效果也是不同的。因为现在开始很多人在研究这个现在的新的网络时代的学习的模式，还有它有什么优点有什么缺点。那他们当然发现有一些优点，但是也发现了一些缺点。那其中我最近看到一个人说法是说，这个我们的人类大脑还没有进化到能够凭空学习所以做笔记其实还是很重要的。然后有一个纸本的东西在你面前，那个跟你看在这个荧幕上面的那感觉还是不太一样，而且你能做的东西不一样。荧幕上面做起来很多都很漂亮，可是你需要花时间。那你如果是纸的话，你的笔随时可以再画个记号画个鬼脸然后写个几个字什么的，非常方便。
Wesley is saying this is I'm looking at the written text in front of Wesley, covered with Wesley's notes.Yeah,
那我的这个我很喜欢抄笔记从大学就喜欢抄笔记。那这个备课事前准备，我也很喜欢写东西上去。所以这个每次我看到我以前准备的时候，或者上课上完之后，上面写了一大堆东西，我就觉得很快乐。你看我有这么多东西那当然不见得有时间全部去把它重新复习，但是只要我想复习 ，it's always there。而且常常有时候看到以前记的笔记，就想到这一点我完全忘记了耶。
Right.
这个很重要，就很多人会觉得说，尤其现在大家觉得这个我记得啦，这个没问题这没问题。
You won't.
可是过一段时间你还是会忘掉，你记忆力再好，你也不可能什么都记得。
That's right. And sometimes Wesley can use these things in his classes.
Yeah.
And Wesley writes books. He can use it then. So he's got it all there. So that's something to consider. In addition, it's online, and you can also get the Ivy app. I really recommend it. Okay, time for today's lesson. Our title is Growing Plants Out of Thin Air.
中文标题是非传统农法，气耕技术好处多气耕用空气的气，耕是耕种的耕那这个标题很好玩的 out of thin air 本来在英文里面有另外一个意思，就是凭空的意思什么都没有，凭空。那看到这个字我想到就是魔术师魔术师变魔术的时候，常常就是 out of thin air 他就变出一个什么东西来。
Right. For example, I can't just go up there and give a speech out of thin air.
那我没有办法就这样上去凭空什么都没有就这样掰一个演讲出来。
That's right. So when you have no preparation, no materials, it's sort of like the 樵夫。
难为无米之炊你就是要为无米之炊。
That's right.
所以这个地方这个 out of thin air 本来是那个意思，但在这里呢，因为他讲的是气耕所以感觉起来是好像就在空气里面种出了什么东西那种感觉。
无中生有, but it's sort of like that the 无中, the 无 is air, and actually that's what you use to grow your plants. And our article is by Daniel Howard. I met Daniel many, many years ago before he came to Ivy, and what I remember about him is being from Boston and being a 魔术师. And then here he is now working for us, and he has a lovely little daughter. Married
so
to a
he's
Taiwanese.
Actually a 魔术师.
Well, he was for a while.
Okay.
And he has a really lovely daughter. All right. So here's our article. Aeroponics is a relatively new farming technique that may play a major role in feeding future generations. With aeroponics, people can grow more food in less space using fewer resources. In addition, it doesn't look anything like traditional farming. In aeroponics, plants do not grow in soil like on a typical farm, nor does this technique place the roots of plants in water like hydroponics or aquaponics. Instead, the plant's roots are exposed to the air. Water and nutrients are delivered by spraying a mist over the roots. So why is this a good thing? Aeroponics does not waste any resources. It uses the least amount of water and fewest nutrients needed to raise healthy plants. Also, exposing the roots to the air makes it easier for the plants to take in oxygen and carbon dioxide. Like animals, plants need to absorb and release gases, and one way they do this is through their roots. Exposing them to the air makes gas exchange more efficient. Without the need for soil and containers, aeroponics beds can also house more plants than in other farming methods. Probably the most important benefit of aeroponics, however, is the fact that it is so clean. In traditional farming, crops are frequently lost to pests or disease, which tend to spread through the soil or water. In aeroponics, the plants are not connected to each other, so a sick plant is isolated from the others. It can be removed easily without affecting the rest of the crop. Perhaps surprisingly, farmers can also use this advantage to make a few of their plants sick on purpose. Why? To discover which plants are naturally resistant to pests or disease. Not all farmers will have access to aeroponic technology, but disease-resistant plants can be grown anywhere. Aeroponics is a high-tech solution that even low-tech farmers can benefit from. Now, I really love this article because we're finding better ways to grow plants with less harm to the environment and with less waste. Because, for one thing, growing in soil makes it quite dirty. You have to wash it and you're using a lot of extra water. For a lot of plants, they grew them in little chunks of sponge, 用海绵. So when you buy the vegetables, they're cleaner and they're organic, but you have to throw away those sponges and you have to pull it off the roots. It's kind of a pain. But if you're using just air, there's no waste.
好，所以这种科技感觉起来相当好，因为它不会浪费掉什么东西啊。因为你如果是用土种的话，土耕，那你还要清洁，还有一些其他的问题，什么传染病的问题。那有的人呢，他会用这个海绵啊，把这个菜啊、植物啊种在海绵上。可是你要用的时候呢，你要把它拔出来，那个海绵也就没有用了，那也是一种浪费。但如果说这些都不需要，你可以用空气的话，那当然就减少很多浪费。
That's really an exciting idea, in my opinion. Aeroponics is a relatively new farming technique that may play a major role in feeding future generations. There's a lot of information in this sentence. First of all, the word aeroponics. And if you know anything about hydroponics or similar words, that's about growing plants in water instead of soil, then it's easy to guess that this means growing plants in air because we've already seen it in the title. So that's the first thing. The second thing is farming and technique. Now, here's an ing word plus a noun, and the ing word is modifying the noun. Now, how do we know if this is a participle and thus an adjective, or if it's a gerund and thus a noun, because it's going to affect the stress? If it is, for example, a 分词, if it is a participle and thus an adjective, we stress both words. Then it would be a new farming technique. In that case, it would mean 是正在农耕的一个技术, and that doesn't make sense. On the other hand, it means a technique for farming. For farming, for 是介系词，表示 farming 一定是个名词, so it's a 动名词, it's a gerund, which means we don't stress technique because now it is a compound, and 被修饰的名词是没有重音的. Now, maybe you found that kind of confusing because if you haven't paid to compound noun stress rules before, it may be new. But go back and look at the rules, listen to the rules. If you want the article, I can post it on Karen on Ivy on Facebook. Just ask me. So it's a new farming technique, a technique for farming. So don't stress technique, only stress farm and farming. That may play a major role in what? Feeding. Feeding usually means 喂食, but here we mean providing enough food for it. We're not actually taking a spoon and feeding them. This is a metaphor. It's like a 隐喻. Future generations, which means that maybe it won't become so popular to help a lot of people now, but it may become important in the next generation and beyond.
好，那我们看到这个句子，它一开头他说 aeroponics 啊，就是这个气耕啊这种技术 ，aero 跟空气有关嘛啊，那它是个 relatively new 啊，相对来讲还算新的啊，跟其他东西比起来，它还算新的啊一种 farming technique 啊，一种这个农耕的技术。 那这个农耕技术 that 就指这样的一个技术呢 may 有可能 play a major role 会扮演一个重要的角色一个主要的角色，在哪方面扮演主要的角色呢 in 后面加一个这个 VING in feeding 就是喂食喂养或者提供食物给 future generations 未来的世代而且不是一个世代 S 是未来的好几个世代feed 这个字刚刚这 Karen 老师有讲，它本来是喂你吃东西那个意思，但在这里这个 feed 就是提供食物的意思所以他们未来可能会在提供给未来世代食物上面呢会扮演一个重要的角色。
With aeroponics, people can grow more food in less space using fewer resources. Now, this has a lot of very nice parallelism. More food is contrasted with less space, and that goes together with fewer resources. So those contrasts are really important. They will decide where you place the stress. More food, more 跟 less 跟 fewer 是有对比 food 跟 space 跟 resources 也有对比，所以这全部都要放重音的 more food, less space, fewer resources
所以呢这个地方都这个是个很好的这个 parallel 的一个结构所以你可以看到说 with aeroponics 有了这个气耕的技术呢，人们可以怎么样grow more food 更多的食物，然后呢对比是 in less space 它的空间反而是比较少，用的空间比较少，种的食物比较多，可是用的空间比较少，而且呢 using 它使用 fewer resources 更少的资源。
In addition, it doesn't look anything like traditional farming.
In addition 就是此外除了上面讲的东西之外呢，此外 it doesn't look anything like traditional farming 就是看起来跟 traditional farming 完全不像，叫做 it doesn't look anything like 什么什么，就是完全不像。
In aeroponics, plants do not grow in soil like on a typical farm, nor does this technique place the roots of plants in water like hydroponics or aquaponics.
在这个气耕这个技术上面呢植物 do not grow in soil 它不是在这 soil 不是在土壤里面长的那就好像一个 typical 一个典型的农场一样就是植物是在生长在土壤里面，不是这样子的。 Nor does this technique place the roots of plants in water 它也不会，这个技术也不是 place 在这里就是放的意思，把这个植物的 roots 根放到水里面，那这个显然就是水耕的嘛它都不会做这样的事情那这个水把植物的这个根放到水里面，就好像怎么样？后面这两个名词这个 hydroponics 就是水耕那这 aquaponics 就是鱼菜共生。
And there are places where you can see aquaponics in action. We have one right near where I live.
所以这个渔业共生这个其实现在越来越常看到，这个 aqua 也是水，那 hydro 也是水，所以这两个都是水加到 ponics， 但是它谈的是不同的东西，一个是水耕，一个是渔业共生。
Instead, the plant's roots are exposed to the air.
Instead 就是不是前面讲的那样子，而是这样，而是怎么样呢？而是这个植物的根呢 are exposed 就是它被暴露于，它是 not covered 它是 unprotected to the air， 它直接暴露于空气当中，叫做 are exposed to the air.
Because in the other methods, the roots are usually buried in the soil or they are soaking in water.
因为其他的刚刚讲这个水耕渔业共生或者是土耕这个植物的根要么就在水里，要么就在土里。
Water and nutrients are delivered by spraying a mist over the roots. Now, originally, I was thinking of a spray bottle that we use for like spraying our hair at the hairdressers. But then I'm sure that they use an automated system that sprays it, with big pipes and it's done automatically.
所以他说水还有这个养分就是植物要生长所需要的养分 are delivered 在这里其实是 provided 被提供或者被输送了这个怎么样输送呢？怎么样提供呢？ by spraying 就是这个喷洒a mist 就像雾一样的这个东西这个水分像这个水汽一样的，像雾一样的水汽 over the roots 喷在这个根的上面。那这个东西我想我脑袋里面的 picture 也是一样，应该是有那种管路的然后自动控制的这个喷洒系统什么时候喷多少，那个都有很精密的控制。
So why is this a good thing?
那为什么这是好事呢？这有什么好处呢？
Aeroponics does not waste any resources. And that sentence alone is enough to convince me because I have got this big thing, this obsession with waste. So when I see something as not wasting resources, you've got my attention.
OK， 好，所以它能够节省 resources， 但它就是很重要的优点了啊。所以这个好处是什么呢？就是这种气耕呢，它不会浪费任何的资源。
It uses the least amount of water and fewest nutrients needed to raise healthy plants.
它用最少的 least amount of water， 用的水量是最少的，而且使用的是 fewest 最少的 nutrients needed， 就是 nutrients that are needed。它所需要的这个养分，它用的最少。那这个 needed 是要干嘛呢？需要干嘛呢？ Needed to raise healthy plants。你要能够种出健康的植物所需要的最少的养分那它可以用非常少，所以用的水最少，它所用的这个养分也是最少。
Also, exposing the roots to the air makes it easier for the plants to take in oxygen and carbon dioxide.
此外呢，你把这个根暴露于空气当中，也使得这件事情比较容易。什么事情呢？使得 for the plants to take in 就是吸收你要植物吸收氧气还有二氧化碳也比较容易一点，因为你把它放在空气里面，它要吸收氧气，要吸收二氧化碳，它就直接吸收啦。
Like animals, plants need to absorb and release gases, and one way they do this is through their roots.
就好像动物一样植物需要 absorb 也是吸收，就是前面的 take in 那植物需要吸收，也需要释放排出一些气体那 one way they do this， 他们做这样这个吸收排放气体的这个做法之一，就是透过他们的根。
Right. The way we humans do it, and many animals like us, mammals, is through breathing. So we breathe in, we breathe out. That's how we usually exchange. We absorb and release gases. We also do it through our skin on a different scale. Exposing them to the air makes gas exchange more efficient.
所以呢，你把这个根暴露于空气当中，使得这个 gas exchange 就是气体的交换，让这个气体的交换更加的有效率所以这是很有效率的一种办法。
Without the need for soil and containers, aeroponics beds can also house more plants than in other farming methods.
好，那 without the need for 就是我们不需要 soil， 不需要泥土，也不需要 containers， 也不需要容器那这种气耕法，它的这个 beds， 它的这个苗床，它也可以 house 这里是动词它是 provide space for 或者是 contain它也可以这个装下更多的这个植物than in other farming methods 在跟其他的这个 farming methods 这个其他耕种的方法比起来，它可以装下更多的这个苗因为它不需要土，也不需要容器。
Probably the most important benefit of aeroponics, however, is the fact that it is so clean. Now, that's the second thing that grabbed my attention. After seeing that it doesn't waste resources, that's really great. And two, that it's clean, I think of myself cooking at home where you have to wash all that stuff off the vegetables. If they're cleaner vegetables, you don't have to wash them so long.
那也许最重要的一个好处就是气耕最重要的一个好处the most important benefit of aeroponics 是什么呢 is the fact that 是这个事实，这个事实就是说 it is so clean 这个非常的干净。
In traditional farming, crops are frequently lost to pests or disease, which tend to spread through the soil or water. Now, I have a couple of other pictures in my mind. One is another story that my father told me of when they were young and they'd bring in some of the grandchildren, the cousins in. They were harvesting potatoes. And then there was a bug. There was a bug called a potato bug that would eat up the leaves and hurt the plants. So we'd have to go to the plants and then have a little can of gasoline or kerosene, kerosene mayo, and we'd pull off the bugs. I didn't do it. My cousins did it. One by one from the potato plants and drop them in the kerosene because then they would die immediately. That was a lot of work. You did it plant by plant. And the other thing is, because there are bugs and other pests, people use a lot of pesticides. And I did a test once of my body health, and they said there's nothing wrong with you except 你就累积了蛮多的农药. And I go, oh my gosh. So all that stuff is going in your body. Even if you wash it carefully, a lot of it is still going in your body. So that means if they don't have to use pesticides, it's going to be a lot healthier for all of the people who eat the food.
好，所以这个句子啊，我们先看这个句子哈。他说，在这个传统的农耕法里面呢，这个 crops 就是作物呢，常常会 lost to， 就是因为什么而损失，常常会因为 pests 害虫啊，或者是 disease 这个疾病，所以病虫害常常会因为病虫害而损失啊。那 which 因为这个疾病呢 tend to 就是常常 often 或者 is likely to spread through the soil or water。这个病虫害常常会透过这个土壤或者水来传达啊，来这个传染。那刚刚这个 Ken 老师讲到说，其实这里面有很重要，就如果你能够避免病虫害的话啊，那很好啊，因为这个病虫害如果是虫害的话，像刚刚 Ken 老师讲，他们小时候啊，这个要去种番茄的时候要去
potatoes。
potatoes，
yeah，
那个马铃薯
yeah，
好，马铃薯好，这个它们上面会有那种虫哈，但他们要用手一只一只抓了之后，把它进到煤油里面，才能把它害死，把它杀死啊。那个疾病的话，为了要让植物作物不会有得到这个疾病，那你就要用很多农药啊。所以如果能够免掉如果让植物能够避免得病啊，也不会受这个虫的伤害的话，那刚刚讲那些通通都不用了，你也不用怕农药累积的问题了。
Right, and I think all of us probably have it in our bodies because Taiwan uses pesticides very heavily.
Yeah， 我们体内大概每个人都积了很多的农药啊，因为台湾的这个农药用的蛮凶的。
Yep. In aeroponics, the plants are not connected to each other, so a sick plant is isolated from the others. And that's really important because once you have, for example, a fungus, it spreads really fast.
Yeah， 那在气耕法里面呢，这些植物它们彼此没有联系，they are not connected to each other。然后呢，所以呢，一个生病的植物呢 is isolated from is set apart from 就是它会隔离from the others， 它跟其他是隔离开来的，所以不会传染。
就像蕈类就很容易传染呢。
Yeah，
It can be removed easily without affecting the rest of the crop.
那如果有一只有什么病的话，好，那你可以。这个就可以被 removed 被移走 easily 很容易就被移走了，而不会 affecting 不会影响到 the rest of the crop 不会影响到其他的这个作物。
Perhaps surprisingly, farmers can also use this advantage to make a few of their plants sick on purpose.
也许还让我们觉得蛮惊讶的Perhaps surprisingly 是什么呢？农夫或者这个农人也许可以用这样的一个 advantage 这样的一个优点就是说你有一棵如果死掉或者得病的话，很容易就可以移除，不会影响到其他的。那这是一个 advantage， 那你可以利用这个 advantage 能够 make a few of their plants， 故意让他们几个这个作物呢生病on purpose 就是故意的意思，蓄意有意的故意让他们生病。
Why？
为什么呢
？To discover which plants are naturally resistant to pests or disease.
这样就可以发现哪些植物呢天然的就特别 resistant to 就是具有抵抗力就是有抗性，所以有哪些植物天生对于这些病虫害就比较有这个抵抗力比较有抗性，就病虫害比较不会找上它。
Not all farmers will have access to aeroponic technology, but disease-resistant plants can be grown anywhere. So maybe not everybody can use this technology, but if you've discovered which plants are resistant to disease, you can sell the seeds to these plants to other people and they can still grow them in the ground and they will be resistant to, for example, bugs.
好，所以不是所有的农夫都 will have access to， 就是 to have access to 就是 to be able to obtain or make use of 或者是 take advantage of something， 所以不是每个人都能够这个享受到或者能够用到这个气耕这种技术。但是呢，这个 disease resistant 就对于疾病有抵抗力的或者是有抗性的这种植物呢，你到处都可以种。也就是说，你也许没有气耕的这种设备，可是透过气耕找出来这些抵抗力比较强的植物呢，你也可以拿来种。
Right, so maybe they won't be infected by fungus so easily, for example.
Yeah.
Aeroponics is a high-tech solution that even low-tech farmers can benefit from.
所以呢，这种气耕法是一个这个高科技的一个解决办法而且这种解决办法即使是低科技的就是传统的这种农夫呢，也能够因此获利。
I love these articles that give us reason for optimism.
Yeah.
We read so many things that are such downers these days. It's good to read about something that gives us hope.
Yeah.
All right, very quickly, 4 questions. 1, what is the passage mainly about?
本文的主旨为何？
And the answer is B, the benefits of an unusual farming method.
答案是 B 它谈的是一种特殊农耕法的好处。
Number 2, according to the 3rd paragraph, how are plants similar to animals?
根据第3段，植物跟动物有什么相似的地方呢？
The answer is A, they both exchange gases with their environments.
它们都必须与所处的环境交换气体。
Number 3, which of the following is not mentioned as an advantage of aeroponic farming?
本文没有提到底下哪一个气耕农法的优势。
The answer is C, tastier, more nutritious food can be grown.
答案是 C 它没有提到说它能种出更好吃或更营养的食物。
So actually, it doesn't have to be tastier or more nutritious. If it's about the same as ordinary crops, that's good enough. Number 4, what does resistant in the last paragraph most closely mean?
最后一段的 resistant 这个字最接近底下哪一个呢？
The answer is D, less likely to be affected.
答案是 D 比较不会受影响。
And that's it for today.